What is happening, Tug Peeps? OldManTup coming at you today with another exciting episode of the Top 5. And today's Top 5 is going to cover my personal favorite Mega Evolutions. That's right, this is one of the most recommended topics when I asked about the Top 5 a long time ago. So we're going to go through the Mega Evolutions, and I would like to state just at the beginning that this is the Mega Evolutions as of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, as I'm sure with the next cluster of games we will be getting more Mega Evolutions and things and such, and my favorites may change beyond that. So let's get right into it. Number 5, the real American hero, number 5. Now, coming in at number 5 this week, we have the Mega Pokemon that I chose for my GBA Season 4 Mega Pokemon, and that's Mega Alakazam. And you cannot say enough about Mega Alakazam. It's fantastic. It has excellent move coverage. It is undoubtedly, once it's Mega'd up, one of the best revenge killers in the game right now. You got that 175 special attack after you Mega up, which is just unheard of outside of an Uber Pokemon. I mean, if you look at any Pokemon that has a higher base special attack, they are all Ubers. And the only one that isn't a Mega Pokemon is Deoxys Attack. And it's got like 5 base special attack more. So I mean, this thing is just a monster. It gets 150 speed after it Mega Evolves, which pretty much makes it outspeed anything in the current metagame that isn't Scarf, which is fantastic. And I love this thing, and that's why Mega Alakazam is coming in at number 5. I am your powers combined. I am number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Mega Medicham. Now, this is one that really hasn't been featured much on my channel, but is one of my favorite Pokemon in Medicham. Now, it didn't make the top 5 list, but it was one of my all-time favorite Pokemon from Gen 3, and to see it get 100 base speed after it Mega up is really nice, because it puts them up there with some of the standard threats in OU, and it gets bumped up to 100 base attack from, I believe, 80. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but it has the ability that doubles his attack stat. That's right, 200 base attack is what its attack stat rocks out at once you factor in its ability and pure power. And that's just insane. Perfect coverage, pretty much, between stab fighting moves and stab psychic moves, as well as the elemental punches. It gets priority in the forms of Fake Out and Bullet Punch, and just OMG fantastical. And that is why Medicham comes in at number 4. Number 3. Ho! Coming in at number 3 is Mega Agron. I mean, what can you say about Mega Agron? Once it Megas up, it removes 99% of the Terra badness it has in the competitive environment. It loses both of its 4x weaknesses in ground and fighting, and that's huge for a defensive Pokemon. It has the ability Filter, which reduces super effective hits by 25%. So if it was gonna do 2x damage, it only does 1.5. If it was gonna do 4x damage, which nothing does to a steel type Pokemon, it would only do 3x damage. But fantastic, it loses that pesky rock typing and goes straight steel, which is fantastic. And when it Mega Evolves, its attack stat bumps up significantly, and its defense stat shoots up to a game-breaking, top of the charts 230 physical defense. Now, what you're thinking, Tup, that's not the top of the tops. Actually, it is. There's 2 other Pokemon that share that spot, being Mega Steelix and Mega Shuckle. Oh my lord, heaven help us if that ever happens. But Shuckle. And in my opinion, Agron pushes a little bit higher on the charts, in my personal opinion anyways, in the ability Filter. Now, that gets cancelled out by Mold Breaker and such, but not taking as much from super effective hits makes it that much more appealing to me. So, Mega Agron being fantastic, looking like a beast, and just being great. So that is why Mega Agron rolls in at number 3 on today's chart. Number 2, and the Masters of the Universe! Coming in at number 2 is the first repeat Pokemon on any top 5 list. Being in the same evolutionary line as Charmander, which was my number 5 overall favorite Pokemon, has to be Mega Charizard. Why? And I'm going to specify why, because I like Y more than I do X. It still has that terrible 4 times weakness to Stealth Rocks on a switch-in, but it has, in my opinion, the superior ability by setting up the sun with 5 free turns of sunlight in drought, and that's just fantastic, and I love it. Now let's check out the stat boosts that are most significant. It gets a whopping 159 special attack, not a boost to speed, but still up there with the 100 speed stat, keeping it just on the cusp of competitive play. And let's not overlook the fact that this still has 104 base attack. Now I know what you're thinking, oh Tup, nobody runs physical Mega Charizard Y, and I agree with you, nobody does, because it's not as good, but the option is always there. A sun boosted 104 base special attack Flare Blitz is insane, and it gets plenty of coverage moves on the other side of the, or not on the other side, in the spectrum, physical wise, to help cover, so it's always a possibility. And let's look at it. This thing looks even more beastly, in my opinion, and a bit more dragon-like and less generic in this form. So that is why Mega Charizard Y is coming in at number 2. Number 1, more than meets the eye. And top of the chart, standing alone, hovering above the rest, flapping with those new spiffy wings, is Mega Absol. Absol being one of my favorite Pokemon from the 3rd generation. I've said that a lot in this top 5, because 3 of these Pokemon were my favorite 3rd gen Pokemon. And surprisingly enough, the rest were 1st gen. Interesting coincidence, I just realized. But anyways, let's start talking about Mega Absol. Mega Absol, oh my lord, this thing is beautiful. It had a fantastic design before, and it has a fantastic design now. But that's not the best thing about it. It gets this little ability called Magic Bounce. That's right, Mega Sableye wasn't the only one that gets it when it Mega Evolved. What? Tup? I don't understand. What's Magic Bounce do? It bounces back any non-direct damage attacks. You want to Toxic it and whittle it down. Oh, guess what? Getting bounced back at you, you just Toxic yourself. You want to Will-O-Wisp it so it gets burnt. Guess what? You just burnt yourself, my friend. You want to taunt it so it can't set up swords dances in your face. You just swords dance yourself. You want to whirlwind it out because you can't deal with the setup. You just whirlwind yourself. Hey, guess what? You want to hit it? You gotta stab. 150 base attack Sucker Punch, slapping your behind. Insanity. I mean, stab Sucker Punch when you pretty much guarantee that the other Pokemon has to attack you. Pretty much. I mean, unless they're recovering, they outright have to attack you. So I mean, Sucker Punch is always a good option on this thing. Now let's not overlook the fact that this also gets a boost in special attack. Its special attack comes in at a respectable 115. And that is really good considering the coverage it gets on the special side. It gets access to Bolt Beam. Tup, this is 6th gen. I don't know what Bolt Beam means. Enlighten me. That means it gets access to Thunderbolt and Ice Beam. Oh, what's that? It also gets Flamethrower. It can get Water Pulse. It gets a multitude of special attacks that lets it take advantage of this huge boost to its original special attack. Oh, but Tup, that thing's slow as balls. It'll never manage to do anything in the competitive meta. Oh, what's that? It also gets a boost in speed to 115, which outspeeds a lot of things in the OU meta currently. So this thing, between its looks, the right stat distribution, and the right ability, puts this thing at the top of my chart for Tup's top 5 Mega Pokemon. So let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below. Also leave your top 5 Mega Evolutions as well. They can be competitive based, they can be design based, they can be whatever reason you want for them to be your favorites, and let me know what they are down below. Now, some of you may have noticed that I have been parodying some cartoons from my youth when I was doing the number segments. Now, here's what that is about. We are having a contest with that, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to figure out what either those little snippets cartoons were from, mostly in the 80s, early 90s. Hints for you kids. Let me know what those were. Now, don't post it in the comment section down below. Do not, because then everybody's going to know, and you're going to lessen your chances to win. What I want you to do, I want you to tweet me what you think the answers were. Send me a DM on Twitter, a direct message. I have it opened up so everybody can send them to me. And if you can't send a DM to me, message me personally on Twitter at OldManTup on Twitter and say, Tup, for some reason I can't send this to you. Follow me and I will be your friend. So not only will you get the opportunity to be in this contest, but you will get OldManTup to follow you on Twitter. Fun stuff. As always, follow me on Twitter if you're not, because that is where I interact with my fan base and friends the most. So now here's the contest. Whoever gets the most right, which I'm going to guess someone's going to get 5 and possibly more than 1. Everyone who has the highest number answered correct will get the opportunity or chance to pick the next theme of the top 5, which will be next week. I'm going to try and do one of these a week so I don't burn you guys out on them. And what could it be? It could be, what are the top 5 competitive Pokemon? What are my top 5 least favorite Pokemon? Things of that nature. What could be the top 5 Pokemon Mega Absol? What could be the top 5 cute Pokemon? And when I do the top 5 cute Pokemon, I will have mine. She can do her list of cute Pokemon, because hers will probably be better than mine. She's better at judging cuteness. But that is anybody who gets a 5 out of 5 automatically gets entered. I will draw one name out, and maybe we'll do that in a video. Put all the names in a hat that got it right, and I'll have one of my daughters pull a name out of the hat. Maybe we'll draw 2 if we get a bunch of people who got it right. But that is it. Alright guys, this has been OldManTup coming at you with this episode of the Top 5. OldManTup's Top 5 favorite Mega Evolutions. This has been OldManTup. Catch you on the flip side, guys. Peace.